fact thinks that, women have shifted towards it because initially the Congress had only 4 guarantees in their guarantee card. They added a fifth guarantee, the free bus travel for women, because they thought...
I don't think, I agree with you. And I don't think we should think that this has just happened. Yeah. I mean, there are little nuances which the Congress party started indulging in. For example, Rahul Gandhi going on that bus with women. Okay, and he said, it was a very structured thinking that, we have to woo this particular vote bank. And Priyanka Gandhi Vadra being brought in, Sonia Gandhi being brought in.
My only question is, Shivani, did they do it at the right time? Did they peak in the middle overs or not in the death overs?
I would say that in comparison to covering elections, for example, in states like Gujarat, UP, the elections were very muted in Karnataka. The electorate is also a little bit muted. And I found it to be, frankly, a waveless and an issue-less election, in the sense that there was no one dominating issue that was on top of everybody's lips. There was no issue like that. And contrary to people like us in studios, a lot of the times, corruption is not that issue that I found on the ground. Corruption is not the issue the people talk about, the first thing. But it is an election where I think people who are voters of the Congress and people who are voters of the BJP have already made up their minds. It's very difficult to shift them. But so the most important thing is in this election will be what is that shift, whether it's the woman voter, whether it's the Dalit voter, what is that shift and how much of that shift is going to happen between these categories. The other thing I will also add is that I think there is a class component in these elections. Because in Bengaluru alone, I went a lot in coastal Karnataka, in Hubli, Dharwad, and then in Bengaluru. You go to a Nandini milk parlor, the class of people is different. They sell you different things. You go to a different eatery where the class is middle class, upper middle class, they tell you different things. And they are quite divided. So actually, along with caste, which I'm sure, as the conventional wisdom is, I think class will also be a very important factor.
And, interestingly, Prakash Belawadi, let's bring in Akshara and Ritu also, and Neethu is also with us. So, you've not had your word. So, let me ask you, Akshara, what do you think? Because Prakash Belawadi, I remember on the day of exit polls, talked about this corridor of uncertainty. It could be a 2 to 4% corridor of uncertainty, whichever way it goes. So, Akshara, let me ask you before I bring in Neethu Reghu Kumar and also we'll take it across to Harish from there. So, weigh in with your thoughts after Akshara and Neethu finish. Yes, Akshara.
Well, I covered Mumbai Karnataka region or the Kittur Karnataka region, which is obviously a BJP stronghold. And if you take a look at the previous electoral results, 30 out of 50 seats in the Kittur Karnataka region were backed by the BJP. So this particular region plays a very vital role when it comes to Karnataka election. So this particular, in this particular elections, however, the results can vary there. The 3 main challenges which the BJP faces here is that one, the rebellion, it is stung by rebellion, and 2 main leaders who have deserted BJP and joined Congress are 2 Lingayat leaders from the Kittur Karnataka region, as you know, Shettar and Lakshman Savadi. So more than Jagdish Shettar, they are wary about Lakshman Savadi, because one, Lakshman Savadi has sway over the Ganika votes who reside in Gulbarga, Bidar, Bagalkot region. So they are more wary about that. Plus, he speaks Kannada and Marathi very fluently, and BJP in the previous elections used him to campaign aggressively in the bordering region of Maharashtra where Marathi-speaking population reside. So once again, they are a bit worried about the Savadi factor there. So another reason is the Panchamasali factor. Yes, even though Bombay negotiated, there are few leaders who are still upset with it. And their fight with the Panchamasali Lingayats, when it comes to Panchamasali Lingayats, hangs in a balance. And the other which I noticed is the 5 guarantees. Wherever I traveled in every constituency, the sitting MLA of Congress, he or she holds the guarantee card of Congress. All these 5 guarantee cards, and right from the day one they aggressively campaigned. They played the BJP's game in these elections. Right from day one they aggressively campaigned in every constituency holding these guarantee cards. We had Siddaramaiah, DK Shivkumar and all the other leaders banking majorly on these promises. So this is
and reservation as a factor, since you talked about Panchamshali Lingayats. Was that something that you heard repeatedly, and particularly after what the Supreme Court had put it on hold? Akshara?
Well, you see, one they did say that you had Jayamrutyunjaya Swamiji who headed the reservation agitation in Karnataka, stating that the BJP will face a political impact if they are not provided with the 2A reservation status. But Bommai did try to negotiate. I think it has worked well for the BJP. Right now, they have specified the appointees, the main seers who led this agitation. Right. So in turn, they can pacify their followers and ensure that they vote for the BJP. That hangs in the balance there. And once again.
Akshara, let me just bring in Neethu also, and let's open this up for everybody to get their points. What are the salient features? And of course, we'll come back to the fun part. Amidst all the work, I'm sure a lot of you had some fun moments, some standout moments right through this election coverage, which you'd say, ye yaad rahega, out of what we did in Karnataka. But first, Neethu, where were you? And what did you feel? How different is Karnataka from Kerala?
The parts which I went to were northern Karnataka, and that too was Vijaypura and Badami district. So one thing that stood out was how backward these constituencies were. And as you said, when you compare with Kerala or even other parts of Karnataka for that matter, I have travelled to other places also. Yes. These two constituencies, how backward they were, that was a starking revelation, to be frank. People struggling for water 24/7 in their homes, not even 24/7, like every day. They were in Vijaypura, they were actually telling that water comes once in 10 days and 15 days. And also a lot of these youngsters moving out from the district for better opportunities. Their main demands, like in this place, Yatnal is the MLA there. We know that he has been quite controversial. He even made a statement against Sonia Gandhi. So that entire constituency was quite polarized. Heavily they're talking about on those lines, on religion's lines. But when you talk to the people on the ground, first thing in their mind that comes is development. They keep saying that is what we need. And this was a district which had Gol Gumbaz, which is the second largest tomb in the whole world. And they're saying that there's nothing done to develop this tourism, water, roads. These were all issues that they were facing in development. Then the other constituency that I went to was Badami, where Siddaramaiah himself was the MLA for the past 5 years. There also, they could have been, much could have been done in that constituency. Even the people there were actually telling when Siddaramaiah became the MLA, they thought that they will get in a lot. I mean, many of them say that yes, Siddaramaiah has done a lot in the constituency, but they were hoping more because he's the opposition leader. They thought that it could take it to a whole new level. You know that the rock cave temples, the famous rock cave temples and the Pattadakal temples, these are all built by the Chalukya dynasty. And I couldn't wonder if it was in any other state or even in Kerala for that matter, how it would have been promoted. But you don't even have buses connecting these monuments, these historical monuments. So the stakeholders there, the hoteliers there say that this is a major issue. And even well if somebody like wants...
Yeah, complete. And then Harish and Rohini weigh in on this. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I was just telling that even people, the hoteliers there, people who came there were telling that they need proper hotels at least and proper transport facilities there. So in both these constituencies, what I heard was development, and both of them had a lot of tourism to offer, a lot of historical monuments to offer, but definitely that is not being done.
Potential